Despite the overwhelming majority of businesses taking the necessary precautions and investing in public health protection, doing the right thing, right now, we're closer to the situation that we faced in March than we are to any kind of normality. I can understand why many of you are frustrated. Throughout this pandemic, the Scottish Government has not supported you. Even now, guidance is still being published and updated for some businesses on last week's restrictions. They still haven't been able to give a definition of the difference between a cafe and a restaurant. And we have no information on what the funding support package will look like that you are going to rely on. You deserve better support from the Scottish Government. So I say this directly to the Scottish Government. Our businesses need support. You have the money. What are you waiting for? It's not good enough for new rules to come into force and details of business support to be worked out later. If a business finds itself closed or seriously impacted by new restrictions, then it should be automatically entitled to a standard Scottish business restrictions grant. This could be combined with our previous proposal for a hardship fund and would allow businesses to better plan ahead in responding to any new restrictions. But if the experience of the past week has shown anything, it is the importance of getting the guidance right and of giving due notice before restrictions are introduced. We need to see some real business input into the setting of restrictions and writing of the guidance. Who better to know what guidance is needed than the people who are going to have to follow it? And public health advice should be balanced by the needs of workers and businesses. So we are calling for the Scottish Government to establish a coronavirus business restrictions advisory council to advise on the needs of business and inform the decisions taken on easing and introducing restrictions. In the past week, we've seen businesses given just 2 days to prepare, in some cases for total shutdown. That's unfair and made worse by rushed and inadequate guidance. That's why we believe that there should be a 1-week minimum adaptation period between the announcement and the introduction of measures. If we get the right guidance and the necessary funding in place, then I believe we can support you properly through this crisis. The Scottish Conservative Party I lead will always stand up for the interests of business. We recognise not only the sacrifices that you've had to make through this pandemic, but the vital role that you have and always will play in communities and in our country. We share your frustration with the Scottish Government's actions over the past week, and we stand ready to work with and campaign with you so you get the support you deserve.